Hey everyone and welcome back. If you are new here then hello, my name is Zoe and this is my YouTube channel. Today we are doing an occasion makeup which will suit everybody. It's coming to that time of year where people are like going to weddings and special occasions and things like that, and I wanted to do a nice occasion glam which anyone can follow along with at home. It's quite easy but it still looks quite glam as well, and it will be suitable for day and night time if you're just going in the day, or if you're doing day going into night as well. So first things, I've done my brows already. I'm just going to prep my skin. So first I'm going to use the Primark Vitamin Enriched Face Base, is that what it's called? No. Vitamin Enriched Moisturising Primer. So I'm going to use this all over because I've done my skincare this morning, but I do need a bit of a boost because I am quite dry. If you're doing a special occasion, going to a special occasion, skin prep is key to making your makeup last all day, especially if you're doing like day and night as well. So really focus on your skin prep and let it sit there for a while as well before you like put any of your foundation on or anything. That's why I do like to do my eyes first. And then I'm just going to use a little bit of the NYX Marshmallow Primer. I actually really like this primer. I'm going to focus this mainly in the centre of my face, which is where I get like more pores, and if I do get a bit shiny, these are the areas that I tend to get a little bit of shine, so hopefully this will just fill in a few of those porous areas. Okay, so my skin's already looking a lot better and we're prepped for makeup. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of tan on my neck. I've been using recently as a bit of a cheat the Sally Hansen airbrush legs. This is like a makeup for your legs. It's absolutely amazing. It's been around for years and I've used this like since I started going out when I was like 18, so a very long time now, and it's just an amazing little cheat to have in your kit if you want like a bit of extra coverage on your neck but you don't want like any transference or anything like that on your clothes. This is perfect rather than like adding makeup. Or if you just can't be bothered to tan, maybe if you've just got this area out and not your arms, shove a bit of this on and it's just like you've tanned. No one will know the difference. So I'm just going to spray it on. It comes out a little bit scary like that. I do it in layers as well. And I'm just going to blend this in. It's really easy to blend as well, so don't be scared at first, but I tend to do this because I don't always like to tan and sometimes I can't be bothered, especially if not a lot of my arms are out and my legs aren't out. I need to get into like a tan routine, but at the moment I'm just not that girl. Okay, next we're going to move on to eyes. I'm just going to use a bit of the P. Louise eye base. I would definitely recommend using some kind of base for your eyeshadow if you are going to an occasion where your makeup has got to last. Even if you just popped a little bit of concealer down, just something for your eyeshadow to stick to. Try to use like a pigmented base like your concealer or something, because I find the transparent ones don't really make your eyeshadow pop as much as if you've got like a skin toned coloured base on underneath. I feel like you just get a little bit more out of the colour of your eyeshadow then. So I'm just going to pat this all over. I'm going to keep the eyeshadow quite matte, just something really simple and glam. I'm finding at the moment my clients are asking for more matte eyes rather than like a bit of sparkle, so I'm going to keep it like that today. Okay, so for eyeshadow palette I'm going to use a Too Faced Born This Way The Natural Nudes. This palette just has a bit of everything, to be honest. It's got like your darker browns, it's got your neutrals, and it's also a bit more like a pinky undertone. This is like a staple in my kit for Bridal and Bridesmaids as well. It's such a beautiful palette. It's got your shimmers in there as well, and you can keep it more matte, a bit more shimmery. It's just got everything really. So I'm going to actually start with Seashell, which is this one here. This is just a very light sort of neutral shade. I'm just going to use this to start deepening up my crease a little bit. And I do want it to be like a little bit smoky, so I'm going to do it a bit more winged out as well, which I feel suits my eye better, like more winged out rather than rounded. So I'm using this just to start getting a little bit of definition. Okay, I'm just going to use a tiny bit of maple, which is this really nice warm brown. I'm just going to use that to kind of buff over everything. I don't want this to be too cool tone. I do want a little bit of warmth to it as well, so I'm just going to use this to kind of buff over my transition. And that's just created like a really nice soft smoke. You go as smoky as you want, just start slowly and build it up. It's always easier to add more than take away, so whatever you feel is smoky enough for you. Next I'm going to take this really deep one. This is Truffle. This is the deepest in the palette, and I'm just going to take that on a little pencil brush. I'm going to kind of use this as like a smoky liner. I'm going to do a liner as well. I'm just going to press, can you see? So it's like thicker in the outer corner and then comes down at an angle. I'm just going to stamp it on first. And then I've got a little pencil brush. And I'm just going to buff out the edges just to make it really nice and smoky and seamless. I feel like I can do my left eye fine and with my right eye open, but I can't close my right eye and keep my left eye open very well. Okay, next I'm going to take that brush that I applied my eye base with. It hasn't got any extra product on or anything. I'm just going to pat over this area here where I want it to be nice and bright. This you can either keep matte or you can add a little bit of sparkle over the top, but we're going to keep it more matte today. And I'm going to set that with, what is this shade called? Swan, which is this matte shade right here. And I'm just going to press that all over the top. Okay, next I'm going to go in with a bit of eyeliner. This is a black liner from Rodial. Any eyeliner is fine. I'm going to line my top waterline first. Okay, and then I'm also going to use this a little bit over where we smoked that brown out as if it was a liner. Just right next to the lash line. Because I'm going to be doing a magnetic lash today, which the glue is like a black liquid liner, and I don't want it to look like a solid black line, so I'm hoping just this liner makes it look nice and smoky instead. I'm just going to use any black mascara. I think it doesn't really matter about mascara if you're going to be wearing lashes anyway. I just use any if I'm wearing a lash. So for lashes, I'm going to use these ones. I think I've only worn them once before. I'm quite new to magnetic lashes, but I thought I'd give them a go today. These are from Velour in this style Stick It To Me, but I thought they were just really nice and fluffy. And then this is the Lash and Go 3-in-1 eyeliner magnetic lash adhesive. So I'm just going to pop this on, we'll see what happens. Magnetic lashes do make me a bit nervous. I'm going to try and get as close to a lash line as I can, especially in this inner corner. It helps that I've done a smoky liner, so if this looks wiggly then it doesn't really matter. And then I'm guessing that we just pop these straight on the top. Okay, that was simple enough. Okay, so I think that's the easiest I've ever put a lash on. I really like them as well, they're nice and fluffy. Absolutely love them, and I didn't have to trim them either, which is also a bonus. So for foundation, I'm going to use the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer, and this is one of my all-time favourite like occasion foundations if I'm going out, because the coverage is amazing. It's not too matte, you can layer it really well. It's also very affordable and it just lasts really nice on me. So I'm just going to press this in with my beauty sponge. A little tip for like if you're doing your makeup for an occasion, really take the time on your base makeup. The more that you're buffing it in, blending it in to your skin, the longer it's going to last, especially if you like a fuller coverage and you're going to be using a bit more product. You really want to make sure it's really buffed in and pushed into the skin. It's not just sitting on top and going to slide about. So for concealer, I'm actually going to use two. I'm first going to use the Born This Way in Vanilla. I would have just used this on its own, but I think I might need to highlight a little bit as well. So we'll see what this looks like. I'm just going to use this to sharpen up my eyeshadow as well, so it looks a little bit more winged out. And then again, I'm going to blend that in with my beauty blender. I always feel like I'm glad that I do eyes first because my base never takes me as long. I think once you've got your eyes down, your base only takes like 5 to 10 minutes. I feel like when my concealer's down, everything kind of like starts coming together, which I like. I'm going to brighten a little bit with the Multitasker Concealer from Rimmel, just a little bit, because I think I haven't got like any in-between shades. They're either like too dark or a bit too bright, but I do like a nice bright under eye. I'm just going to pop a little bit of that on. And if you want quite a full coverage under your eye, just leave your concealer to sit there for a little bit. And once it starts to dry, you will get that little bit of extra coverage out of it. For my bronzer, I'm going to use my Primark, the contour and foundation stick in Chai. This is one of my absolute favourites. It's in my kit as well. And I just absolutely love it. I don't necessarily contour, this is more of like a bronzer really. Just adds a little bit of definition back into the skin. And then when you're doing around your forehead, really buff it into your hairline because you just don't want any lines. You don't want to see where anything starts and finishes. So don't be afraid of like going over your ears as well. I always forget to do my ears. I'm going to do a tiny bit of liquid blush. This is a P. Louise base in the shade Pretty in Pink. Now this one is very, very pigmented. It's kind of like a bit more rosy toned than the one that I usually use. And I always get really scared with liquid blush, so I'm just going to literally do the tiniest bit. I'm going to use the powder one anyway, but I do feel like your blush is the one thing that does wear off the quickest. So if you can do a liquid underneath, try to do that because it will last a little bit longer. Okay, let's leave it there. I'm going to set now. Now, for an occasion, if you've done more full coverage, I definitely recommend setting with a loose powder, just so it's a little bit more stronger than a setting powder. My go-to will always be the Laura Mercier translucent powder, so I'm just going to pop a little bit of that on. I am more dry, so I don't feel like I need to set as much as others, but because I have done more of a full coverage base, I will set a little bit more. And if it is an occasion, like if I'm going to a wedding and it's day and night, I need to set or else I will get a little bit shiny, especially if it's hot as well. So I always do underneath my eyes first, just make sure that you blend out like any creases beforehand. And then I'll do my chin. This powder makes your skin look so flawless, it's amazing. And then a little bit on my forehead. You kind of want to keep the glow in the right places. And then that's the only place that I set with the loose powder. I think you can see like how flawless it makes you. And then my like bronzing powder and things like that are going to set the rest. So for bronzer, I'm going to use the Revolution one. Only a little bit. I feel like I have already like quite bronzed myself up, so mainly like at the back and pull it down, like on the top of your cheeks, a little bit on my chin. Just make sure like everything's nice and blended, you've got no lines here. Okay, and I have a nice blush that I think will go with this colour, which is this one from KVD Beauty. It's called Poppy. It's quite similar to the liquid one, so I'm going to use this one. These are very pigmented as well, so I'm only going to use the tiniest bit. I'm getting used to wearing a little bit more blush, but it is slow progress. But I feel this year the blush trend is really kicking in. Okay, let's quickly finish the eyes. I'm going to just smoke them out a little bit. I'm going to use the darkest one, which was Truffle, really close to my lash line. I'm going to use a tiny bit of seashell to blend it out. Just right into your lash line. And then I think I'm going to do a nude waterline just to make it a little bit brighter. I do feel like warmer, more orangey tones suit my eyes a little bit better. Okay, and then I'm going to use a nude liner in the waterline, just brighten it up a little bit. I think this is really nice if you're doing like daytime. And then you could always take like an eyeliner pencil with you and then do like a black liner for nighttime. Lips, I'm gonna go safe and stick to a nude lip. Or shall I do highlighter first? Let's do highlighter first. I'm going to use this Laura Mercier translucent lip setting powder. This is the light catchy powder. It's really highlighted, so I wouldn't set my makeup with this, but I've been using it as a highlighter instead. It's beautiful. I can't remember what video I used it in last time, whether it was on here or whether it was on an Instagram video. Just a little bit, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Like, look how glowy that is. And it looks so natural as well because the powder is so fine. You only need like the tiniest amount. Okay, so highlighter is done. Lips, I'm going to do a nude glossy lip. All my clients are asking for nude glossy lips at the moment. So I have a little bit of a combination here. We're going to start with Bite Me from Morphe. Okay, then I'm going to use the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in Cape Town over the top. Everybody suits a nude glossy lip as well. You can't go wrong with a nude gloss. And then I'm using the Thrill Seeker gloss from Rimmel. This is in Cocoa Sugar over the top. Absolutely love these glosses. Okay guys, so that completes my occasion makeup that's going to suit anybody. Suitable for any occasion as well, and really easy to follow along with at home. I absolutely love it. I'm going to do a few more occasion looks over the next few weeks just because we are getting into like wedding season and things like that, but I absolutely love it. It looks so nice and glam, but it's still suitable for day and night time as well. And yeah, you can customise your coverage and things like that, but I think if you follow, especially like with the eyes, it's such an easy eye look to create, but it still looks quite glam at the same time. I really hope you did enjoy today's video. Let me know if you did down in the comments. Please give it a big thumbs up as well, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next week in my next one. Bye!